Hey, what's up, everybody? I was thinking today, I was doing some web browsing and just some article reading about a few things, and I got to thinking about the Final Fantasy VII Remake open world, and I found an interesting article on one of the sites that I actually frequent quite a bit. This is cgworld.jp. It's a video game website. It's a Japanese video game website, and it's all in Japanese, but you get the Google Chrome extension, the Google Translate extension for Google Chrome. Install it into your browser and you'll be able to read this just fine. The English translates very well. They've done a great job with this. So you can come on here and read. I read a lot of articles, a lot of different stuff, a lot of game development stuff, because I'm actually kind of working on a sprite-based RPG myself, so just for fun. But there's a lot of cool articles on here all the time about developers and getting in the headspace of game developers, and talking about they talk about Unity development, they talk about different platforms for development, they talk about Unreal Engine, all the different engines that they talk about, RE Engine, and all this other kind of stuff. But there was a great article on here about the Final Fantasy VII Remake. They interviewed the development team for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it was a great article. They discussed what went into it, time frames, all that kind of stuff, using Unreal Engine 4, and the actual drawing of the different maps and how they drew them out, and how and there's an interesting part of the article on there. You all can go on and read it too. It's cgworld.jp, and you can scroll and you can find the article with a translate. But it discusses how they drew Midgar, what all went into it. And they completely created Midgar. Like, from what I gathered from it, they completely created Midgar, right? And now it's talking about how they're starting to draw the entire world of Final Fantasy VII. Look, this could mean true open world Final Fantasy VII, right? And they're not calling it Final Fantasy VII Remake anymore. They're calling the first game Remake. Now they're just saying the world of Final Fantasy VII. I talked about it the other day with the Katase interview. They kind of do it again here, right? And I'm really interested in where this is going, because if they are completely working on the entire world, imagine if they switch over to Unreal Engine 5, right? Now, Unreal Engine 5 is not going to be ready for developers to use until the beginning of 2021. But from the Unreal Engine 5 stuff that I've seen, I could be wrong about this, but I think you can actually use Unreal Engine 4 assets and bring them into Unreal Engine 5. You can create assets as they are and drag and drop them in the world wherever you want. I did see that in one of the developer diary things they did for it. So that's fascinating. So what if right now they are just creating nothing but assets that they can drag and drop into the world once they get their hands on Unreal 5? What if we really do get a true next gen, which is now current gen, right? PS4's and Xbox One is old gen. What if we get a true open world experience with the world of Final Fantasy VII? They developed all of Gaia, right? All the towns they've thought of along the way, all the major towns, you know, like Rocket Town and Medeal and Gongaga and all those places that were there before, you know, Costa del Sol, Junon, all the places that were there before. And it's littered with other small towns. Now, I know what you all are going to say in the comments. I already know. You're going to roast me in the comments. Ray, you're getting too far ahead of you. You're giving them too much credit. But am I, though? They know it's PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X time. They know they're pretty much without limitations now. Time is the only limitation. Human resources and time. That's all you're limited by now. You're pretty much not limited by technology anymore for what you want to do. For what it would take to create this world, they can do it. Unreal Engine 5, I think, is a real possibility for Final Fantasy VII Remake or Final Fantasy VII going forward, right? I'm excited about this because new assets, the lighting, man. If you all have seen the lighting in Unreal Engine 5, it's unbelievable. It's unreal. If they use that for the world of Final Fantasy VII Remake, it is truly the sky is the limit. They can do whatever they want to with this game at that point. They can make the game that they want to make. And it's crazy to think about that we could possibly get this and what it could mean moving forward. I think we're looking at early 2023, and some of the stuff they've said in interviews, even with the Kitase, and Nomura's even alluded to it, is that, you know, the development cycle was stalled because of everything having to get ready for COVID and all that kind of stuff. They have a plan in place. They're pretty much at 100% capacity now with working, and they're full development. No potholes in the development now. But I do believe, based on what they have said, I think this is going to get slightly pushed back, which we kind of talked about that it would. I think we're looking at early 2023 now for this, which is fine. Because if Square is to be believed, we're getting Final Fantasy 16 this year. They're going to keep pushing out updates for Final Fantasy 14. They've got a slew of remasters and new IPs like Project Athia that are coming out. We've got plenty to keep us busy until early 2023, for sure. I think it won't be as long a wait as we think it will be. I think the more they kind of give us, you know, some little breadcrumbs like teasers and what we're looking at, and the first shot they give us of that open world, if they do it, oh my god, it is going to be incredible. So I think this is a real possibility. I think we're going to get Square Enix developing the games moving forward in Unreal Engine 5. They're not going to use Unreal Engine 4 moving forward, I don't think, because there's going to be a better version out there. I think they're going to use the better version. I think they're preparing to move into Unreal Engine 5 right now. I think that's why we're not seeing anything too, because they're not going to want to show us anything until Unreal Engine 5 is set up, if that's the path they're going to go. They want us to see the best possible version of the game. They don't want to see assets and gameplay and just basically general exploration built in an old engine, especially if they're not completely building the game right now and they're just building the assets for it. That's how this works. They're going to get the assets together while they're working on the scenario, and then once they draw the entire world, the world map, then they're going to start dropping in the assets. They're going to start filling in the scenario. The heavy coding starts then. And I think we're looking at 2 years on that development. So I think once they get Unreal Engine 5 in-house, whenever that is, they may already have it, but early 2021 is what I read. We could be looking at... I mean, honestly, I'm really getting excited for this because we could be looking at Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, whatever you want to call it, in Unreal Engine 5. Think this next game could be developed in that. And I'm a firm believer, even though I don't have a PS5 and I'm not getting one for a while, right? Because of budget and life and family and more important things to spend my money on. I'm not getting one for a while. That being said, I think this game does not need to be on PS4. The next game only needs to be on PS5, PC, Xbox Series X. It does not need to be on the previous generation, because look at the issue that Cyberpunk had running on the previous generation. We don't need that. Square Enix, you don't need to do that. Please, 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 please don't do that. This needs to be next gen only. And if they're going to Unreal 5 and they're pushing that, it might be too much for the PS4, even Pro hardware to push anyway. Xbox One, I don't think would be able to push it flawlessly. This game needs to run flawlessly, and if they're going that route, this thing's gonna look beautiful. You know, hang on a second. Let me pull this up just to show you all. For those that have not seen it, this is Unreal Engine 5. This is running live on a PlayStation 5. This is gorgeous, and what they can do with this is just amazing. Look at this. They talk about how this statue is basically just an asset they developed outside the game and then just drag and drop it wherever they want to put it. This is a very developer friendly, and yeah, look at this. Each of those statues is just a duplicate of the same asset, just spread all around, and you can just drag and drop. I think this might be the route. Look at this. I think this might be the route. In the lighting. Oh my god, the lighting. The lighting is incredible. I think this could be the route that Square Enix is going to go. Look at this. Look at this. I think this could be the route that Square Enix is going to go with Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. And I think that we are going to get a true open world experience. I really do. I couldn't be more excited for that now. So I was on there, I was reading the stuff they were talking about, and this is just, again, speculation. This is not news coming out. This is not official news, but I really feel like this might be the route they're going. And if it is, bravo. It's what we need. They can easily, well, it's going to take work, but I mean, they can easily develop open world in this, run it on a PlayStation 5, current gen stuff, PC. Let's do it. Let's do it. Don't even consider developing this game for PlayStation 4. And again, this is not coming from a PlayStation 5 owner. I'm one of the people that would be left behind. I would have to get a PS5 for this, right? But I am a strong proponent of do it. Just do it. Do it. Do it. The little Palpatine out there. Just do it. This is what they got to do to make this game the way it needs to be made, and to meet the expectations of all those people that want to see this game. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a huge world. Ghost of Tsushima is a huge world, and they all run good and great on PlayStation 4 Pro, and they run good on PlayStation 4. But if the better version is out there to be made, make the better version. If the best current stuff is out there to be done, do it that way, okay? Those games I mentioned are great. Assassin's Creed Valhalla I fell out of love with. I just did. I don't know why. I didn't finish it. I fell out of love with it. Ghost of Tsushima is a masterpiece. But those games, development started on those games years ago, right? You're developing this game now, Unreal Engine 5, current next gen / however you want to call that right now. Systems is what it needs to be developed for. End of discussion. I think that's the way it needs to go. Anyway, I know you all are going to roast me in the comments on some stuff. Don't get your hopes up and all that kind of stuff, but I want to see it anyway, you know, so just throw it at me. But yeah, I'm interested to see what you all think about that. I wasn't confident before about open world. I was thinking it's going to be zones, it's going to be that kind of thing, but now I'm thinking, after reading that article and kind of the things they've been saying back and forth, and the fact they haven't shown anything yet, I think they are going to wait for Unreal Engine 5 to be ready. I think they're getting the assets, they're getting the scenario, they're doing everything they can right now without actually creating the physical world you're going to run around in. They're doing everything right now except for that, so they can drag and drop assets, they can do all this other kind of stuff, they can have the scenario ready, have the coders on standby, have all the story elements edited and ready to go. Nojima and Kitase rocking this thing. Nojima's a rock star. Y'all know how I feel about that. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Keep rocking. Don't forget, January 1st, we got the Final Fantasy Anthology giveaway happening. So keep it locked in for that. I hope y'all have a great evening, great rest of your week, and a great New Year's Eve as we give the middle finger to 2020 and we rock in 2021. So hopefully it's a great year for everybody coming forward, a better year. Y'all have a great night. Be good to each other. Stay safe out there, and I will see you all in the next video.